Oklahoma State, and a couple of teams with designs on an NCAA tournament bid. All right, check out the standings now in the Big 12. We know about the headliner, Baylor up top, a perfect 9-0. They haven't lost this entire season. These two teams, though, Oklahoma State and Texas Tech, not just looking at seeding for the NCAA tournament, but how about the Big 12 tournament? They could actually be playing in the 7-10 game possibly at the Big 12 tournament. We shall wait and see, but this could be a big one. John Sciambi, and from the Fran Cave, it's Fran Fraschilla. All right, so when you're talking Oklahoma State, you talk about Cade Cunningham and a guy who possibly could be the first overall pick in the draft. Fran, has he lived up to the hype for you?
Very much so, and then exceeded it, John. He's been really outstanding, not just because he's a great player and he's the second leading scorer in league play, and today named to the Cousy Award finalist list, the point guard list. Also, Jared Butler from Baylor has made it, but he's a great teammate. He can get 30 when he wants, if he wanted to. He's a triple-double kind of guy, but the thing that's impressed me is what a great teammate. Now, Mac McClung is the leading scorer in conference play, shading out Cade Cunningham just by a little. Had a good first game against Oklahoma State way back on January 2nd. He has struggled lately from the perimeter, not as efficient as he needs to be, but he definitely has the swag to go on the road and play well tonight.
January 2nd, these teams met in Lubbock, and Oklahoma State with the win in overtime, 82-77. Fran, that was really the game that's maybe signified that Oklahoma State was for real.
In that game, Ice Likely was outstanding. There's an early turnover. He's coming off the bench tonight because of a foot issue. We'll see him.
So a quick turnover there. The Tech starters, McClung, Edwards, McCullough, Peavy, and Santos Silva.
Tyler Edwards also needs a big game. The junior has struggled lately. Chris Beard told us today, this is one of my favorites. He's going to be the first four-year guy for Beard, but he needs a big game.
And they're going to need Mac McClung to be better. Right there, they get the bucket from Santos Silva down low. Starters for the Cowboys: Cunningham, Anderson, Williams, Walker, and Boone. And again, we'll look for Likely to make an impact in this one. And inside the bucket there from Caleb Boone.
Yeah, he's had a great sophomore year, Caleb Boone. He's shooting 67%. At this rate, he will break the Oklahoma State record for field goal percentage, and a great pass inside by Cunningham. You see the unselfishness.
McCullough inside, good drive, and puts it in.
He's the toughness, the heart and soul of this team. Remember, he missed a lot of games early because of an ankle injury.
He'll miss the first 9. Inside that one, a miss from Bryce Williams, and Texas Tech the other way. Red Raiders in the red, Oklahoma State Cowboys in the white. Gallagher Iba Arena. John Sciambi, Fran Fraschilla, and there's a turnover.
This team will play 4 out around Boone, and they move it really well.
Texas Tech, they've had a lot of success under that guy. 5th season for Chris Beard. Of course, took him to the Elite 8, to the championship game. Last year, they would have made the NCAA tournament. He said they're going to hang a banner for last year getting to the NCAA tournament.
It's good ball movement, John. Side to side.
Swooping in, Rondell Walker gets bumped. Meanwhile, for Oklahoma State, Coach Mike Boynton, the New York City native, his 4th year as their head coach, and trying to take him to the NCAA tournament.
Nice T-shirt he's got on. That T-shirt represents on the back every black coach in America in Division I. And, of course, you see the John Thompson quote right there. One of the things that's impressed me, John, with Oklahoma State, given how tough this league is, and there you see, and that's something that John used to tell his players at Georgetown. Don't let the sum of your existence be the 8 to 10 pounds of air in the basketball. He used to have a deflated ball on his desk at Georgetown. When kids would come in to talk to him, he would say, now look, basketball's not everything. Of course, the vast majority of his Hoyas graduated, and many of them went on to play professional basketball. Both of these teams will be freelance motion for round one. And this guy's key, McClung.
Got tied up briefly, and they turned it over. Oklahoma State basketball. Mac McClung, last 4 games, shooting just 35%. And from 3 over that stretch, it's 26%. So he's just got to shoot it better.
Yeah, and he's taken a lot of shots. He has not been efficient lately. And this is a guy that's had an extremely good junior year. Nice pass inside. Pick and roll.
Boone with the stuff and the finish.
Well,
and
I'll tell you,
we're tied at 4-4.
Yeah, that was a great wrist pass by Bryce Williams. He got that ball off his hand quickly.
Cade Cunningham, been quiet in the early going. Cunningham, quick move, now steps back.
Look at the spacing, John. 4 out around Boone. They move the ball with the 4 guards.
Boone double team, good feed inside, able to find Walker.
Yeah, a good cut and a really patient job right there in the low post by Caleb Boone. His improvement over the course of his sophomore year has really been outstanding. You got to give the coaching staff of the Cowboys a lot of credit for that.
Texas Tech last 4 possessions, 3 turnovers and an air ball.
Watch the screen, a double team, and nobody rotates from the weak side. When you guard this ball screen, you see the movement on the weak side. The 2 red jerseys, it was McCullough and McClung, have got to be in the lane and support on the roller to the basket. They were nowhere to be seen.
Santos Silva grabbing a seat. Cowboys by a couple. Just getting going. Gallagher Iba Arena. Avery Anderson. And swooping in for the rebound is Tyreke Smith. Shannon jumper.
Yeah, Shannon's got to get going.
Tracks it down.
Yeah, John, Shannon has been plagued all season with a bad ankle. Only 20 minutes in each of the last 3 games. Good patience.
Boone looked opposite. Williams couldn't hit, and here come the Red Raiders.
Red Raiders really don't have a pure point guard. They basically play with combo guards in the backcourt.
Good job there. Peavy able to get it to go.
What you love about that freshman is he was so under control. Did a great job with his feet, pivoting away from pressure.
From the Dallas area, went to Duncanville.
Oh, yeah, a lot of Dallas guys out here tonight, John. Both of these programs replete with Dallas kids.
Feed inside, and a foul on Oklahoma State. 15:03 to go first half. Texas Tech, Oklahoma State. We're tied at 6. ESPN. All right, so what about it, franchise? You see the seeding right now in the Big 12. Out of the Big 12 teams right now, Oklahoma State would be an 8. Texas Tech would be a 5. But what about in the Big 12 tournament?
Oh, it's crazy because one of these teams, assuming they take care of business in this last week or so, one of these teams that's heading to the NCAA tournament is actually going to play in the 7-10 game in Kansas City on the Wednesday of championship week. The interesting thing, John, about Oklahoma State is how about this schedule? Oh, they'll play Tech tonight, a home and home with the Sooners, who are playing great, and then they're scheduled to make up games with Baylor and West Virginia.
Iowa State, by the way, unbeaten, or I should say winless, 0-12 in the conference, and they would be the 10 as of now. Out of bounds, it'll stay with Texas Tech.
When we talked to Mike Boynton today and we talked about the schedule, the one thing that I think was brought up, that if they win 3 of 4 of these games, and we're talking Tech, Oklahoma twice, Baylor, and West Virginia, they are going to make some national noise.
Isaac Likely, by the way, missing the last 2 games, is into the game now for Oklahoma State.
Yeah, he's critical, John. He's their other point guard.
Jumper knocked down there by Micah Peavy, and Texas Tech leading by 3.
Cade Cunningham's played against Micah Peavy on many occasions. There's another Dallas guy, and Ice Likely, and they need him back. In the first meeting, which came after Christmas, January 2nd, Likely had 17 in that overtime win in Lubbock for the Cowboys. Both of these teams nursing some injuries. We mentioned Shannon already. And no Jamarius Burton tonight for Texas Tech, day to day.
They're dealing a little bit of a toe issue as Cunningham bullies his way to the basket, puts it up and in, and 1.
That's 6'8" right there, about 220 pounds. Take a look now. He's going to do this a lot at the next level, John, because he's going to play point guard on many occasions, and he's going to be able to horse those smaller guys down the lane and into the post.
That, by the way, was his first shot of this game. And one of the things Mike Boynton has talked about in the past, how Cade Cunningham at times will come out and he'll kind of feel out the game. And they'd like him to step on the gas a little more early.
Yeah, I think it's worked well for them, although they've lost a couple games that came down to the wire where I felt he could have got it going a little earlier. But overall, you cannot argue with what this young man has accomplished. He has been a great teammate. He's 19, John. He doesn't turn 20 until September.
McClung knocks down the first. Tomorrow, it's our Progressive Super Tuesday doubleheader on ESPN and the app at 7 Eastern. You get 11 and 6 Florida taking on star freshman Sharif Cooper and Auburn. And the matchup of the night, Big 12, Kansas and Texas in Austin. Jayhawks looking to avenge their worst home loss under Bill Self from back in January. So Kansas, Texas at 9 Eastern.
How about tied for the worst home loss in the history of Allen Fieldhouse? Back in 88-89, they lost by 25 to Missouri in Roy Williams' first year. And Texas, John, we saw what happened on Saturday. I'm anxious to see how they react getting back on the court 3 days later, because they gave up a 19-point second-half lead to West Virginia.
Yeah, coughed it up, and I mean, credit to Bob Huggins' team, no doubt, as McClung able to scoop that one in, and the Red Raiders lead this one here by 4.
Look how McClung keeps that ball on the side. That's called no middle defense right there.
Shot clock under 10. Cunningham got it from deep. Three-pointer, and it's a one-point game.
Yeah, that's something that NBA scouts wanted to see from Cade Cunningham, was his ability to shoot it from the outside. It was a question mark coming in. It's not a huge sample size, but I do not think that will be an issue. And you see Oklahoma State goes to a 2-3 zone.
And a bucket there from Kevin McCullough. Cunningham has their last 6.
Well, he missed that one, but he's shooting 45% behind the arc this season. And one of the things, I like the zone here because, number one, it protects Likely's ankle, and it also keeps Cade Cunningham out of foul trouble. Now let's go back and watch Mac McClung get an easy basket right here in transition. That'll help a scorer get going. Now watch the smooth release by Cade Cunningham. That is pure, John. He spent a lot of time this summer with his brother Cannon and the coaching staff working on that shot. And trust me, when you think of all the things that Cade Cunningham does well, especially from a playmaking standpoint, that ability to knock down that outside shot is going to really help him. And there you see his older brother Cannon, who played at SMU, was coached by Larry Brown and Matt Doherty. Last year he worked for Mike Dunleavy at Tulane. And quite frankly, it was a great hire by Mike Boynton. Keep in mind, it wasn't necessarily a package deal because Boynton has been recruiting Cade Cunningham since he was a freshman in high school.
Well, would you tell me his brother made him take all his trips, right?
He did. His brother made him take all 5 of his official visits so he wouldn't feel the pressure of just picking Oklahoma State. He visited Kentucky and North Carolina, as well as Florida and Washington.
Santos Silva in close, flips it up and in. And Texas Tech leads this one by 5.
That's the VCU grad transfer who had 12 and 8 on Saturday in Allen Fieldhouse. That's a great move. Terrific move by Caleb Boone, using the offhand on the other side of the basket. And Santos Silva gave him no room. He slipped that through.
Caleb Boone continues to improve. His twin brother Keelan on the team as well. Jumper short, but a rebound from Peavy. Put back.
Nice
that wouldn't go tipped out. Nicely done.
Yeah.
Cunningham able to rebound and save. And Likely.
Good pass.
Cunningham, good look, and it's rejected. Santos Silva. Excellent ball movement, and it finishes with Matthew Alexander Moncrief putting it in.
Yeah, and a freshman. That was another freshman, Rondell, making that pass. Walker. These freshmen have really grown up from Mike Boynton. They're only going to see Cade for a year, but these other guys are going to be around for a while. Good ball movement versus the zone.
Inside trying to spit it home was Edwards, wouldn't fall. Up ahead, Boone trying to dunk it. And which way's the foul?
It looked like Mac got position. We'll see. Good ball movement tonight. Both teams. Take a look. Mac McClung, Gate City, Virginia, scoring.
You're watching ESPN's Big Monday. And tonight it's Oklahoma State and Texas Tech from Gallagher-Iba Arena. And right there, Marcus Santos Silva, a guy earlier today working on his free throws. Yeah, that's from their hotel. They actually take that basket and travel with it. The managers and the GAs put that hoop together, 10 feet legit, and they have a little bit of fun. So he was outside their hotel. Yeah, it's 10 feet and legit, and he was knocking down some free throws.
Yeah, now remember, most hotels that they stay in, they have a ballroom where they can actually put this basket in the ballroom and work on some extra shooting if they'd like. Well, the ballroom at the hotel in Stillwater was not quite high enough to be able to shoot free throws, so they moved the basket outside. 55 degrees today in Stillwater. And Marcus Santos Silva got a little extra work in. But they travel, John, as you pointed out, with that basket around the Big 12.
It's their Walmart basket.
Exactly.
1 point game. Boone, by the way, with 8. Peavy the give off. And nice. Nadolny hangs and hits.
Yeah, the sophomore from Paris, the suburbs of Paris, is playing better and better. They love his defense. Young man that did not play much a year ago, keeps grinding and working. I met that young man when he was 14 years old at SMU, working out with a guy by the name of Rudy Gobert, I believe.
Oklahoma State with the turnover there. Wide open jumper, and that will go as McCullough was able to bury it from deep. Time out on the court, and Texas Tech leads it by 4. Four-point game. Mac McClung to the left, Cade Cunningham on the right. Mac McClung to Georgetown transfer. You know, we talked with Chris Beard earlier today. He told the story. This is so what COVID is like, right? They're driving around their campus, and they went past this giant building, their rec center. I mean, it's for students on campus, that's the building. And Mac McClung turns and looks at the coach, says, "What's that building?"
And coach said,
nicely done by Cade Cunningham. But that's where we are in this COVID world, whether you're playing sports or being a student or both.
It's hard, John, you know, to have a big win on a Saturday and not be able to go, you know, out with your friends. And let's watch Cade now. Take a look at this ability to get into the lane. This is 6'8", John. And so he shows you that scoring at the rim. He's showing you the outside shooting, the passing. He's got great defensive feel, especially away from the ball. And, you know, I'm not a skeptic of him. I said early in the year not to anoint him automatically the #1 pick. I love all 5 of those guys that are in consideration for that pick, including Mobley and Jalen Suggs of Gonzaga and the 2 kids in the G League. But he is the safest of the 5. He is going to be positionally a big guard, great vision, great all-around skills. And if the draft were today, I do believe he would be the #1 pick. But I do love all 5 of those kids and their NBA futures.
Inside, McCullough draws the foul.
Yeah, this is restricted arc right here. Take a look. And he was outside the arc, but he was never set, Watson. Good effort by Watson, but a good drive by Kevin McCullough. Again, we talked about McCullough, John, being the heart of this team. The sophomore from San Antonio. He actually was hurt as a senior. And he redshirted the year of the Final Four team. That's spring semester.
So Walker will grab a seat. Avery Anderson back in. McCullough, whose dad played football at Texas Tech and in the NFL with the Packers. Evan Sr.
And you see Clarence Nadolny, young man that came to high school here. Well, I like what Tech did there. They're trying to deny Cade the ball, which is not a bad idea. They're switching on to him now. So right now they're just face guarding him. Look at that, and it caused a turnover.
Well, this is an Oklahoma State team that does not turn it over very much. However, already 5 in this one. That's something Texas Tech is very good at, forcing those turnovers.
It's a young Oklahoma State team, and in fact, one of the youngest in the country. Oh. That is not Tyreke Smith's shot. 2 for 6 on the season, now 2 for 7. Young man from Baton Rouge who's a high energy big man.
What's our boy Bill Raftery's line on that?
That's a neck ball. That's a neck ball. That's what we call it in the playground, a neck ball. Otherwise known as a brick.
That's one of those, my play-by-play call on that was, ooh.
That's what we call ill-advised.
Yeah.
But Tyreke Smith does play with great energy. There's that zone again.
Can't play the guard. Domino back.
McClung from way downtown. That missed everything. Here comes Likely. Cowboys down 3. Likely probing, gets a piece of the paint, gives off, and Como puts it in.
The big fella from Chad on the west coast of Africa, a sophomore. The big fella getting a chance.
Fans wanted to travel, and a jumper will go for Terrence Shannon. 3,350 the crowd expected tonight. That's the limit. So an arena that's used to having 5 times that many or thereabouts.
See how they try to keep the ball on the side.
Flying in is likely for the rebound of the putback.
That's the linebacker playing point guard. Got to keep that ball moving against the zone. They're trying to get it through the middle.
McClung can't hit. Here come the Cowboys. Offensive foul on Bryce Williams.
That's a charge, but the Cowboys getting it done with their 2 best. Cunningham first, and then the linebacker on the glass. He's back. 7 rebounds a game.
Cunningham in tonight's Wendy's Wooden Watch. Roll red.
Being in contention for all these awards is a blessing. You know, it's crazy to hear my name with all the top players in the country in my first year and everything. All the credit goes to my teammates. To allow freshmen to come in and have them embrace me how they have, it's really a team award for anything that I might win. And, you know, I'm not going to receive it solely. I'm going to receive it as a teammate, and all my teammates are winning that same award with me.
All right, for more, go to ESPN.com, search Wooden.
And when you look at this league, these 2 guys, late season, now in the top 20, so they're alive for the Wooden Award. Jared Butler's been outstanding, obviously, for the Bears. They're back in action tomorrow night. Anxious to see them. And then the numbers on Cade really speak for themselves. And, John, he's a guy that literally could get 30 any night. He's that good. If he needs to get 30, he could. But from the day he's got to campus, he has been an amazing teammate. When I watched practice in November, I think he took 2 shots the whole practice. And I asked Mike Boynton about it. He said, Coach, don't worry about it. When the lights come on, he'll turn it up. He just wants his teammates to know that he's in it for them, too.
You know, Cunningham, a guy that came into the year with the spotlight on him and obviously profiles as an impact NBA player. When you're talking about college awards, though, I mean, Jared Butler as a college player is, I mean, as good as just about anybody out there, right? In terms of how he impacts the game.
Yeah, and he's on one of the 2 best teams in the country. He's the best player on one of the, 1A of the best team in college basketball.
That one knocked away, and here is Cunningham on the move. The big guy has it taken away.
And they snuck in from behind, tipped it from behind. He gets a little sloppy sometimes. His assist-turnover ratio is underwater right now. It's probably the only thing you could pick apart in his game. That's good defense by Cunningham. He kept Peavy from getting to the rim.
Shot clock winding down. Down at 3, Shannon.
Yeah, leaving it short.
Rebound pulled down by Bryce Williams, and Micah Peavy charged with the foul. Well, we got a massive Big Ten doubleheader coming your way Thursday night, 7 Eastern, our Sonic blockbuster. Luka Garza in number 9, Iowa taking on 16-1 in 3rd-ranked Michigan. And we head to East Lansing, number 4 Ohio State taking on Tom Izzo's Spartans. That's a pretty good doubleheader right there.
Yeah,
Michigan just getting past Ohio State yesterday by 5.
Great game, John. That's one of the best games I've seen all year. Both of those teams capable of getting to a Final Four. I think Michigan is just a shade under Gonzaga and Baylor. I would not want to see Michigan if I was either one of those 2 teams until late in the tournament.
Room to miss, but the offensive rebound, and he gets fouled.
Well, this is a kid, along with his brother, that was offered a scholarship by Mike Boynton before he even played a varsity game at Tulsa Memorial. They won a state championship there, but Mike Boynton has had a habit of doing that. He recruited Cade Cunningham before he played, as you see Keelan right there, who's more the perimeter-oriented of the 2. He's a work in progress. He's going to be a very good player. But Mike Boynton And he told us a story today, John. You and I have both been to Maui, and we've been on that red-eye flight off the island. When Cade Cunningham was a freshman and Mike was an assistant coach at Oklahoma State and had already been the first coach to offer Cade a scholarship, he flew back on a red-eye the day after Thanksgiving. He said there were 12 people in the gym when Arlington Bowie played, and Cade Cunningham said, I remember that because I remember the night before watching Oklahoma State and Coach Boynton on TV, and the next day he's on a red eye and he's watching me play. That's how the relationship started.
Sure.
And when Kentucky and Duke came calling in Carolina and the big schools, the Blue Bloods, Mike had already established that great rapport.
Santos Silva the block, then the save. Here's McClung. Texas Tech and Oklahoma State were tied 25 apiece.
This is exactly
6 of 7.
Yeah, this is exactly the kind of game I expected from these teams. Tough, hard-nosed, good defense.
Buries one.
And he needs to. Tyler Edwards, the first four-year guy that Chris Beard recruited here, who, by the way, was a high school teammate of Cade Cunningham at Arlington Bowie High School when Cade was a freshman.
Good look, the lob, and Boone puts it home.
That's how you shoot 67% from the field. Boone 4 of 6 tonight, right on average.
But good hands. Fran collects, puts it in. He finishes well around the rim. That's what he's supposed to do.
Yep.
Shannon inside, puts it in.
It's a big basket. We mentioned it. TJ Shannon, don't question his toughness. This is a young man that played 4 years of high school football, and he's been on a bad wheel most of the season. At his best, he's one of the best scorers in this league.
Red Raiders the other way. Shannon now. And the rebound ripped down by Bryce Williams. Cowboys down by 3. Cunningham hesitates, gets into the paint, and one.
Yeah, that was close. Yep, that was close. I thought he had position, but you saw the strength. Let's take a look now. Cade Cunningham in motion to the rim. Oh, I don't know. I'm going to give that one a charge, but he's the All-American.
ESPN's exclusive presentation.
Always on the attack, Seth. Always on the attack. By the way, John Shambi, speaking of attacking, and listen, I'm a big believer in addition by subtraction in coaching, and I made my point about Jalen Johnson. All I know is this. Mark Williams for Duke, John, had 18 tonight, and they are playing great. I'm actually rooting for Duke. They're the underdog getting into the tournament. I love what they've done, and this young man, Mark Williams, who from all accounts is a great young man. Boy, is he taking advantage of the need for somebody to step up on that front line. He's done that.
Red Raiders and Cowboys tied at 30 inside, and that little jump hook will go for Moncrief.
Well, I'll tell you, I love Cunningham, but I love these other freshmen. Moncrief, Rondell Walker. Oh, man. 5 of their top 6 scorers are underclassmen for the Cowboys.
Shannon jumper, got it, buries a 3.
Boy, this is a much-needed
Seth, I can only hear you.
Shannon, I can tell you, Chris Beard welcomes the scoring right now. Let's see, are they going a little zone? Looks like they're changing up a little bit.
Cunningham contested, still hits the shot. That was impressive. He's got 13.
Yes. All those baskets, John, other than the 3, have been 5 feet from the rim, using that 6'8" frame. And I love the idea that Cade Cunningham has taken over this first half. You know, this time of year, it's winning time for a team like this, and they have a closer.
Shannon able to knock that one down. He's starting to heat up.
I'm going to tell you, don't go anywhere, folks, because we are going to have a great second half.
Inside, Anderson, aggressive move to the goal, banks it in.
Only his second basket, but this kid is improving. Another one of those Dallas-Fort Worth kids. Good matchup. Anderson, McClung.
Good find inside. McCullough gets it to go. Kevin McCullough with 10. Red Raiders by a point.
And see if they match
more
up
than
out
a
of it.
second the difference game clock and shot clock.
Yeah. Looks like they want to show zone, but I think they've switched to man down the stretch here. I double him, trap him.
Couldn't make the shot. And that will not count as Edwards. 6 lead changes in the last 2 minutes. Cade Cunningham, 13 in the first half, but the Cowboys trail it by 1. You're watching ESPN's Road to Champ Week, presented by Wendy's. College basketball at the break in the Big 12, and it's Texas Tech leading Oklahoma State 37-36. John Shambi and Fran Fraschilla with you. Thanks for joining us here tonight. Good one so far. Really what we thought. You're talking about a couple of teams playing for seeding in the NCAA tournament, but also the Big 12 tournament, because one of these two clubs could end up in the 7-10 game. Fran, tonight we got to look at why people really love Cade Cunningham. He was super strong in the first half.
Absolutely, John. 13 points. He averages 18 and a half a game, and we've chronicled this season that he does let the game come to him. He does most of his scoring damage in the second half. Not tonight, and especially now that he's heading down the stretch of the only year in Stillwater. I love the idea that he took over this first half. 13 points, 5 rebounds, really aggressive. Of course, we know he's a great passer. He knocked down 1-3, but he got most of his work done inside. And youth is served tonight. We talked about the freshmen. How about the sophomores for Chris Beard? Shannon getting off to a good start. That's important for him. He's in double figures. Kevin McCullough, the other sophomore, he's also in double figures. Mac McClung not getting it going yet, but the two sophomores have carried the Red Raiders to this point.
Have 6 ties, 10 lead changes, including down the stretch 6 lead changes in the final 2 minutes. So back and forth we went, and away we go here in the second half. Red Raiders with the basketball. See if they can get McClung going a little bit. And they turn it over immediately.
Almost lost it right there. Remember, likely coming off the bench with the foot injury. He's played tonight, but Cade Cunningham, he's been stirring the drink.
Anderson not able to get it to go. Here's McClung. McClung speeding up ahead. Left hand puts it in.
Now he's trying to get himself going. You've got those sophomores that are already in double figures, but they need Mac McClung to be more efficient than he was in the first half.
Cunningham, I don't know whether that was a pass or a shot, but it got deflected. Here's a lob, and a tip won't go, and the Cowboys the other way.
Boy, why didn't Edwards just shoot that ball?
Inside Boone, and no call.
Well, he babied it. He babied it up there. Instead of taking it through the defender's chest, he faded away. See the Cowboys staying in that little 2-3 zone. They'll match up out of it with Cade. Cade roves the defense.
And a foul inside to get that one on Oklahoma State.
John, Cade is
Texas Tech lead.
Yeah, they're in a zone, but they're allowing Cade to rove the defense, play the middle, move around almost like a free safety.
The foul, by the way, on Rondell Walker, that is his third. Gallagher Iba Arena. And a big Big 12 game.
Well, I'll tell you, that was great defense, little contact at the end, but Avery Anderson, he wanted that assignment of guarding McClung today. He's done a good job so far. Avery Anderson, take a look right here. I just don't know where, I didn't see it. Now we're, again, we're at home.
Yeah, we're far away.
Yeah, it looked like Cade got that foul.
Shannon not able to get that one to fall, but they get the foul on Cunningham. And that's his
critical.
third.
Yeah, critical. Watch Shannon draw the contact right here. And see Cade just leans into him as Shannon leaves his feet and picks up his third. Be interesting to see. Now Mike Boynton has played a lot of zone tonight, so he can protect Cade, but then Cade has to be very judicious with his decision making. I always told a player in this situation, if you have to give up a basket, give the basket up, because you'll get us 3 baskets on the other end. So that's what I would tell Cade right now when he comes over to me. We're leaving you in, but do not foul anybody. Give up a basket if you have to.
So the lead is 5. And that ties their biggest lead.
You see the trust factor, John, between Boynton and Cade Cunningham, because normally a coach would take a guy out quickly who's picked up those 2 quick fouls, but he's going to trust Cade. And again, probably play zone, and Cade's got to be smart here.
Cunningham. Anderson had a good look at it. Santos Silva the rebound, harassed there, but Williams couldn't take it away. So the Red Raiders with the ball up by 5.
McCullough got in too deep, lost that ball. Take a look right here now. Kevin McCullough looking to attack, and you see he just dribbles it off his foot. Unforced turnover right here. By the way, John, Cowboys 1 for 6 tonight from behind the arc.
Inside, that one wouldn't go. And a pretty good look at it in close. And it is physical and sloppy inside tip. I think it was Santos Silva with the tip. And that'll fall.
Nadolny got in deep on that, and Santos Silva picking up where he left off, and Lawrence giving him some size inside. Mike Boynton says, we got to talk this over.
Yeah, welcome back. As you see, Texas Tech leading Oklahoma State 43-36. We showed you that shirt earlier that Mike Boynton is wearing to honor John Thompson, but it also honors every Division I head coach who is an African-American, and you see all their names listed on the back. And that is a pretty cool thing that we've seen Mike Boynton sort of take the reins on, and that is reference to the late, great John McClendon, Hall of Famer 3 different ways, Fran Fraschilla, the secret game back in 1944.
Absolutely. The game between what is now North Carolina Central University and the Duke Medical School. It was in a Jim Crow era and segregation. There was no blacks playing whites. The Duke Medical students, who were all very good former college players, they met over at North Carolina Central on a Sunday morning. John McClendon was the coach of that team. They had a scrimmage. North Carolina Central won. And then after they finished that scrimmage, John, they integrated the teams. And it was a great moment. John McClendon is one of my heroes. He studied under James Naismith. He wasn't able to play at the University of Kansas. He's a Kansas grad. Just a tremendous man. Got a chance to meet him at the end of his life at the Final Four, and one of the great historic coaches that we've had as Mac McClung starts to get it going. Interesting thing about John McClendon, he was credited with inventing the fast break. And when they played fast, the thought was these black players are playing out of control. They play too fast. And Dean Smith and so many others have credited him with those innovations like the fast break.
In close, and Moncrief not able to get the bucket. Cade Cunningham on the bench. He picked up his 4th. How long will he sit? We'll wait and see. They're down 9. Cunningham at Oklahoma State down by 9. And Fran Fraschilla, 4 fouls. It's going to be interesting to see how long he sits. Here's the last one just to take a peek at what happened.
Yeah, and remember now, these all happened in the first 4 minutes of the second half. And they got him for a hook on that post-up. And he's got to know better. Now, we've praised him tonight, but he's got to understand that there's 3 officials out here, and they don't really care that that's Cade Cunningham. So now Mike Boynton's decision is to how long do I sit him? And obviously it's going to probably be for at least the next 5 minutes. And if you're Chris Beard, you're figuring out a way to extend this lead as he'll lead from the bench, Cade Cunningham.
Picked up number 4 at 16:49. Bryce Williams can't hit. So far in this one, Oklahoma State 1 for 8 from 3.
See the Red Raiders in what we call a 4-out motion. 4 guards playing through Marcus Santos Silva, who just extends that arm and gets called for an offensive foul in the paint. And listen, you got to know this. Marcus has played a lot of basketball. Take a look right there. That's called displacement. And that's an easy call to make for these officials. And he's played enough basketball. He's got to know that. And Chris Beard's frustrated with him because he knows he watched it right in front of him.
Nine-point lead for the Red Raiders. That is the largest they have had here in this one.
Okay, the guy that can get them going now, although on one wheel, is Ice Likely. But right now what Texas Tech is doing, they're switching everybody onto him.
Inside shot block, put back, wouldn't go. Let's see what they have.
Offensive basket interference.
Yeah.
Yep. That ball's on the rim. You can touch the net, even if the ball's above the rim, above the cylinder. But I think what happened was Keelan Boone touched that ball while it was on the rim. Or touched the net, I thought. He put his hand through the net, I thought.
McClung got a step and got it blocked. Likely, I think, got a piece of it.
Yeah, Ice has got to be the catalyst right now for this team. Remember, 17 in the first meeting. And he can drive it, he can post it, but he has to get involved in his offense. And you saw what Coach Boynton did. He isolated Ice on the wing. I think he's either telling us he's strong or the play is called strong. He just flexed a little bit. But he's got to get going, John, because he has the ability to not only get to the basket and make plays for himself, but obviously he's a point guard, so he's a very deft passer.
Cowboys still have not scored here in the second half.
Yeah, that's a tough shot. They're not in rhythm right now. They're taking tough shots, and you got to credit Texas Tech. Outstanding defense.
And really good pitching.
Yeah.
0 for 9 for the Cowboys. Here in the second half. Nadolny likely almost came up with the steal. That shot contested. Santos Silva, offensive rebound and the putback.
He's been a horse tonight. That's only his 8th point, but he's got 7 rebounds. And again, coming off a good performance at Kansas.
Yeah, they get the foul on Nadolny. Avery Anderson able to draw that foul.
John, to put
Anderson's
Texas
been
Tech,
quiet.
to put the Red Raiders season in perspective, they're 14-7, but the strength of schedule has been so good. They have a net right now of 14th in the country. So don't let the record fool you, because they have not lost to a team that's not a quality postseason team yet.
Moncrief, they get the kick out, and that jumper will go. How about that, Keelan Boone?
Oh, he needed that. He has not shot the ball great this season, 21%. But in the past, he has stretched the floor. Good pass.
Look at Santos Silva all over the place. Passing, rebounding to tip out.
That's the second time tonight he went volleyball style.
Yep. They tried to find Santos Silva that time. Likely backs it out.
Yeah, I'd get out of Ice's way and post him up, but Moncrief likes to get to the rim too.
He can't hit. Doug Sermons was not happy. And I believe he just called a tech. Yeah, he did.
Let's watch this now. I think I know what happened. Watch this ball. Watch Nadolny. And he just never came up with it. And Doug Sermons is right on the play. And a little too much exuberance from Clarence Nadolny. Was not happy. He thought he got fouled. And you don't see this very often, where a Texas Tech player gets a technical foul. It does not happen often. Happened earlier this year to Kevin McCullough at Texas. But Chris Beard is never happy with that.
Well, it's also something that he coaches. He's the type of guy that in practice will sit there and talk about react, body language, good call, bad call, don't show it. He'll tell his team.
You know the term, right? Stone face.
Yeah.
He'll say to his team, he'll rub his face, put his hand over his face and say, stone face, don't react. That time, Nadolny, who's a high energy kid, they got the best of him. But you know something? See if he's still in the game. He might be out now.
Boone trying to feed inside of Moncrief.
Keelan got caught down on that baseline. He really drove. There you see Clarence Nadolny, the sophomore from France. And one of the coaches grabbing him, Coach Adams, just to calm him down. Got a moving screen. Now here's what has to happen, both teams. Officials are blowing the whistle. You can blame the officials for calling what are fouls, or you can adjust to the officiating right now. And now I would be telling my guys, hey, listen, these are three Final Four level guys. You want to keep illegal screening, go ahead. But we need to get back to what we do well fundamentally.
Anderson, jumper, got it. They needed it.
Yes, he did. And he did a great job. That's what we call a hostage dribble. He kept his own defender on his back until he could create space for the shot.
It's a 7-0 run. Shannon, short.
A lot of young guys out here for the Cowboys.
Left hand goes Anderson, bucket, and they're within 2.
Here we go.
John Shambi, I know you wanted to know what a hostage dribble is. Take a look now. As Anderson reads the screen, let's freeze it right here. He's got McClung as a hostage on his back. So he's going to feel McClung on his back. He's going to read Peavy, who's going to release to Boone rolling. But McClung is a hostage. And now Avery Anderson, all he's got to do is create a little space right here, knock the shot down. Believe me, if Peavy came over, he would have dumped it to Boone for the dunk. Really well executed pick and roll read right there by the sophomore Avery Anderson III.
Some pressure from Oklahoma State here as the Cowboys trail by 2. Peavy gets inside. Shot wouldn't go. And Keelan Boone comes away with the rebound, and now a chance to tie it or take the lead with a 3. Texas Tech being outscored 9-4 since Cunningham went to the bench with his 4th foul. Make it 11-4 over
Great
that stretch.
ATO.
And we're tied up.
Yep, great ATO because they knew that Texas Tech would overplay. They got the same basket twice Kansas did on Saturday. Mike Boynton went to school on Bill Self's strategy.
Good save, and again, a chance to take the lead for the Cowboys. Anderson.
This is a very young team out there. Watch out!
And Boone gets fouled.
Watch this right here. You see Caleb Boone trying to throw it down. And I mentioned all those young guys. You got sophomores. You got freshmen right now. And again, the continued improvement of Caleb Boone.
Caleb gets the first. Big 12 now on ESPN Plus, and it is a must-have for Big 12 fans. Tomorrow night, Iowa State taking on number 2 Baylor. That's at 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Then Wednesday, the Lady Red Raiders taking on Kansas State at 7:30 Eastern, and the Cowgirls face number 7 Baylor at 8 Eastern. If you're a Big 12 fan, gotta have it. Sign up today, ESPN.com/Big 12 now.
Cade Cunningham back in with 4. I would think that Mike Boynton said, I will choke you if you commit your 5th foul when I put you back in. Let your man score if you have to.
He sat 638, and the Cowboys outscored the Red Raiders 12-4 over that stretch.
Obviously, I'm joking about that, but he's got the relationship with Cade that goes back 4 years. Cade, do not commit your 5th foul.
The other way, and here's Likely. Oh, look out. Wow.
Well, the stanchion's in trouble. Likely's fine. It's the backboard stanchion that you better check. Take a look right here, coming right into your living room. Looks like they got ball. Great hustle by TJ Shannon. Contact at the end.
Cunningham inside, good feed, knocked out of bounds. And Moncrief will go to the line.
John, I love this young man, M.A. Moncrief. Young man from Ontario, from the Toronto area, who 2-time Canadian High School Player of the Year. This summer, when we were obviously everything came to a standstill with the pandemic, COVID, he was able to get out of Canada and go to Dallas and live with Cade Cunningham for a while before they came to Stillwater. They knew each other. They had played in the Pangos All-Star game out in L.A. when they were going into their senior years. And Cade Cunningham was a big reason why a kid from Ontario, Canada, is in Stillwater, Oklahoma. They are very close.
It's a 15-0 run. And they're up by 4. Biggest lead of the game for the Cowboys.
And Mike Boynton's played a lot of zone this season, and he's playing a lot of it tonight. No answers yet in the second half.
To the corner, left side, and I think that was Avery Benson.
It was, yep. Avery Benson, who actually is a really good three-point shooter. 5 for 7 on the season this year. Former walk-on, and they need his juice right now.
Well, he gave him some. Down by a point now. Cunningham going to work. Inside, trying to feed Moncrief. He gets blocked, but there's a foul. They got Benson on that one. Or no, I think it might have been McClung. Yeah, they gave it to McClung.
Yeah, this young man, Matthew Alexander Moncrief, M.A. Moncrief, he plays with force. He is an athletic kid who plays with high energy. You think of Canadian high school basketball right now, and I remember about 6-7 years ago, John, saying that I thought someday Toronto would put as many Division I players in college basketball as New York, Detroit, Boston, Philly, and they have done that.
Yeah. I mean, you see it all over the place. Was Andrew Wiggins the first guy who was a big-time recruit? Was an elite level recruit? I mean, talking a top 5 type recruit out of Canada.
I would think so. You know, we had Steve Nash before that, who came in undiscovered, and other kids. Rowan Barrett at St. John's, RJ's dad. But sure. I think Andrew was probably, the Anthony Bennett, who went to UNLV and was the former #1 pick.
Yep.
But there's a lot of really quality players coming out. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, obviously. How about that defense?
Shannon hesitated and got blocked by Boone.
Yeah. I mean, the next thing you know, we'll see Daniel Boone out here. But Keelan and Caleb have been terrific tonight.
Cunningham lost the handle. They go possession arrow. And it's Oklahoma State basketball.
Watch Keelan right here on Shannon. He just raises up, stays vertical, comes down with the block shot. Future broadcaster, Keelan Boone.
Is that right?
Yeah, oh yeah. He's got a very good mentor. Me.
Yeah, I got it, Fran. I got it. Thank you. Thanks for that.
Okay.
Shot clock winding down. That one. Yeah, I believe it'll be Oklahoma State basketball when we return. Cowboys have rallied. They're up 2. February 2nd in Lubbock. Cowboys won it by 5 in overtime. Cade Cunningham with 3 free throws with 27 seconds left to send it to OT. Bryce Williams is stealing a dunk in overtime, and that helped ice the game as he had 15 points in his first career start. Here in this one, Cade Cunningham ran into some foul trouble, but Mike Boynton's team responded, Fran Fraschilla, and right now they have the lead.
They've been outstanding. 50 of the 52 points tonight scored by freshmen and sophomores, and add 2 more to that. Every basket except for Ice Likely's 1 field goal had been scored by an underclassman tonight. These kids are growing up. Remember, John, this team is allegedly on NCAA probation. The appeal is likely not to be heard before the selection Sunday. This team has a very realistic chance of going to the NCAA tournament.
Shannon jumper, soft touch, and they're within 2.
Good to see Terrence Shannon get back to where he's played for much of this season. Former high school teammates right here. How about that?
Edwards takes it away. Kyler Edwards been quiet. Shannon to 3. Looking likely. Wow.
How about that? That's a point guard. 7 rebounds a game. Got to be careful, Cade. Can't be out of control.
Anderson. He's been big this half. Fran Fraschilla.
Oh, yeah. John, he's one of the most improved players in this league. Remember, he had 17 in the first meeting. I just love the way he's matured and progressed under Mike Boynton. Great family, kid out of Justin, Texas, north of Fort Worth. And there you see Avery Anderson.
10 of his 12 in the second half. And a reminder coming up after the game, Sports Center with Scott Van Pelt. Breakdown of Cade Cunningham and USC standout freshman Evan Mobley. Padres star shortstop Fernando Tatis Jr. joins the show. And like every Monday, the most brutal bad beats of the week. It's all coming up after the game. I love bad beats.
Oh, it's crazy, isn't it? I'm glad I don't bet. I don't gamble. Not doing that. Not with these youngsters out here doing some goofy stuff sometimes.
How about Fernando Tatis Jr.?
Yeah.
Making some loot.
I'd say generational wealth for the entire family down the line. 340 mil. And you told me he's worth it.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. I defer to you on all matters baseball.
2-point game. Cowboys with the ball. 6 to go from Gallagher, Iba.
Keeping that ball on the sideline. They don't want it to get middle, and they do get it middle.
Boone gets inside, gives off to his brother. What do they have here? Bert Smith coming in, and it'll be a jump ball. Texas Tech basketball. Okay.
Yep. Well, you know, John, we said this early. This had the makings of a game that's going to go down to the wire. These teams, their DNA is very similar. When you think of the Cowboys and Mr. Iba and Eddie Sutton, Mike Boynton has certainly, you know, he wears that pride of this program on his sleeve. And we know about Chris Beard and the connection to Bob Knight. Of course, Coach Knight and Mr. Iba were very close.
Little strong for Shannon. Rebound there, and Cade Cunningham will bring it up. Cowboys nursing a 2-point lead.
Don't you love the fact that the former teammates, Kyler was a junior when Cade was a freshman at Arlington Bowie, and he's going toe-to-toe.
Doug Sermon says Avery Anderson stepped out of bounds. It's a turnover.
Johnny, 88 by 44. 88 by 44. The court may be 94 by 50. But young players, you got to play 88 by 44. You got to stay off the sideline and the baseline.
Hang on a second.
Did he hit that one? Did he step on that line?
I don't think he did.
I don't think he did either.
I think he was playing 88 by. Nice move there.
Smart move.
Color able to get the bucket.
You know what he did? He knew Cade was not going to foul him, so he went right at him. That's good coaching, too. Good recognition.
McCullers' first points of the second half. Cunningham gets hit hard. And Cade Cunningham to the line.
Remember what I said, John, about how valuable Cade Cunningham is to Mike Boynton. And take a look right now. There's McCullough, smart move by him, and Cade has to just resist. And that's okay with me if I'm coaching Cade, because he's going to get me more points and baskets than that basket he gave up. He has to stay in the game. His teammates have got to help him a little bit, and they'll sit in this zone as well.
McCullough lost the handle. Now McClung wide open, buries it. And Texas Tech now leads by a couple.
This guy could go 0 for 20, and he is not going to, he will always play with confidence. He's got amnesia. Good players have to have amnesia.
Cunningham, that's smooth right there.
Oh, yeah, great players have to have that pull-up jumper on the baseline with 4 fouls. That's his first basket of the second half. He had that free throw.
So here we go. 4 to go, tied at 59. Almost a steal, and now Shannon at the basket, and he gets hammered. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
right, John, you want to see a pro move right here? Take a look. In the association, that will wear well.
ESPN tied at 59, 3:53 to go. Time now for a look at our Showtime lineup on ESPN this week. LeBron and the Lakers in Utah Wednesday to take on Donovan Mitchell and the Jazz. And then the Lakers host Damian Lillard and the Blazers. And then it's Steph and the Warriors. So you know with AD out that it goes to LeBron down the stretch. This game down the stretch, Fran Fraschilla, what are the keys for each side?
Well, it's simple. You let the potential #1 pick, if you're Mike Boynton, take over and make plays, scoring, passing. And if you're Chris Beard, you try to get him in a situation where he picks up his 5th foul, or you get him to play that hands-up Harry defense that we talked about earlier whenever he's in an isolation situation.
Shannon missing that one. He's got a team-high 16 points. Cunningham has matched him on the other side with 16 of his own. Whoa. And he missed them both. Wow, that was ugly.
Exactly. That's T. Shannon is fairly reliable from the line, 81%. All right, so what do we got if we're Oklahoma State? Remember, you got 2 playmakers, not just one, because you got Likely out here. Oh, he has him.
Likely,
he's got him.
Oh, and he had Boone inside, and he gets fouled.
Poor defense on the pick and roll coverage. Again, when your big guy shows on the pick and roll, and that's what Kevin McCullar's saying. Look, if I'm going to go out and double team, you guys from the backside have got to absorb my man cutting to the basket.
And McCullar has picked up his 4th. So McCullar and Peavy for the Red Raiders, each with 4. Cunningham for the Cowboys with 4. And a 64% free throw shooter, Caleb Boone, can't hit there. Tied at 59, 3:34 to go.
There's a lot at stake, John. Remember, the team that loses this game is likely to be in 7th place heading into the Big 12 tournament. That means they would play on the opening night against the 10th seed. Wow. I know one thing about McClung. He only has 11, but you got to be very aware of this guy.
Jumper is short. He is not shy.
He's a home run hitter. He can strike out 3 times and then hit a game-winning homer. Good trap. Swing it.
Inside and boom.
That all happened because Cade Cunningham brought the double team to him and then got rid of the ball, and the rotation was too slow. The ball moves faster than the man.
Cowboys by a couple. Shot clock winding down. Shannon. Rebound to Anderson.
Now, one thing about Cade Cunningham, we've seen this season, he loves this situation. He loves the last couple minutes of the game. Impervious to pressure.
Anderson weaving through traffic and had it rejected as Santos Silva threw it out of bounds.
Let's watch this, John. You see the double team. It's a soft double, but watch the ball move now. And the rotation of the defense is too slow. The ball moves faster than the defensive players do. Excellent execution.
Cunningham, step back, got it.
Yep.
Ooh, boy.
Cunningham time. You can complain about some things.
4 here.
Yeah, you can't complain about this kid under pressure.
McClung answers.
He's got great footwork, Cade Cunningham. I want you to watch this move right here, John. We've seen him shoot the ball really well, but the thing that, watch how educated his feet are against a former teammate. Step back, create space. knocks it down. Now, Mac McClung, doesn't matter if he's 0 for whatever. He does not mind stepping up and taking big shots. Cade Cunningham right now showing you why he's the player he is. Let's go back to McClung now. Okay, struggled a little bit tonight. Pull up in range over the shot blocker. Nicely done. Well, basically, we have the game we thought we would down the stretch.
63-61. McClung with 13. Cunningham a game high 18.
And by the way, McClung's only 5 for 10, so it's not like he's, shooting 20% tonight. He's been judicious with his decision making.
Mike Boynton and Doug Sermons had a quick chat.
Mike is very popular with officials because he very rarely gets on them. A little bit of pressure here by Tech. I love this, man. These two guys battled back when Cade was a freshman at Arlington Bowie. The guy guarding him was a junior.
Tyler Edwards. So now Likely. Williams gets it into Boone. And in close, do they have offensive interference?
Yes, I believe they do.
Yeah, Bryce Williams came flying in.
This ball looked like it was going in. It was a really nice left-handed move right here. Watch Bryce Williams searching. And that ball, yep, I believe it was on the rim, and you got to leave the rim alone, the net. He might have touched the ball as well. Let's take a look right here. Definitely halfway, yep,
yeah.
Halfway on the cylinder.
They are going to look at it. So the official review. Cowboys leading this one by a couple.
And let's remind people, John, that in the last 2 minutes, this is a rule that went in last year, that basket interference or goaltending is a reviewable play. This should not take Bert Smith very long. You see the DV Sport equipment, and that's about all they needed.
Yeah, that was pretty simple.
Yeah.
All right, so again, Big 12 standings. You're talking about the spots in the league 6 and 7. This would be huge if Oklahoma State could hang on and win, and it would be kind of rough for Texas Tech. They would likely find themselves in that 7-10 game in the Big 12 tourney.
And remember, their net is 14 in the country.
McClung jumper, got it, tied.
Yeah. He took Cunningham. Cunningham has the size by about 5 inches, but McClung knew that Cunningham really didn't want to challenge because of the 4 fouls. You don't, this kid McClung, man, he's unbelievable. It doesn't matter.
McClung 11 of his 15 in the second half.
Oh, got a timeout?
And Oklahoma State calls time out.
Remember, Cade is 6'8". I think he's more like 6'7", 6'7 and a half. Doesn't matter. Watch this. McClung sizing him up. Shake, bake, stop, hesitate, pull up. Kind of threw him off rhythm with the little shot fake.
All right, let's take a look at our upcoming Sonic Blockbuster Thursday night, 7 Eastern, and we got Iowa and Michigan, number 11 and number 3, and one of the legit candidates for Player of the Year in Garza, and Michigan coming off a great win on the road against number 4 Ohio State yesterday. Luka Garza averaging just under 25 a game, and that's tops in D1.
And he is now the all-time leading scorer at the University of Iowa. Here's a kid that came out of Washington, D.C., a little bit unheralded, and he's had a great career. Now, 10 seconds to go, so what you have to do is you have to go quick here. You got to get it in, I think to Cunningham. Likely can take it downhill as well. But I love the ball in Cade's hands. Why? Because he'll not only make the right decision most of the time, but if he needs to, he can go get his own. We've seen him he has educated feet. He knows how to create space with his feet.
So here we go. 10 on the shot clock. Gallagher-Iba Arena.
Let's see.
And Bryce Williams to inbounds.
Yep, Edwards on Cunningham. See how they get it to him if they can.
Anderson speeding towards the rim.
Oh, I love what they did. They used Cunningham as a decoy. Because Edwards face guarded Cunningham, they both set a screen for Avery Anderson. This is great coaching. Take a look. Mike Boynton knew that they would deny Cunningham the ball, so what he did was he gave it to the sophomore Anderson, and he allowed Cunningham and Edwards to set a double screen on Anderson's man. That is coaching.
85% from the line, gets the first.
That's what you call coaching right there. And remember, Mike Boynton was hired by Mike Holder after Brad Underwood left to go to Illinois with no head coaching experience. And Mike has done an amazing job here of resurrecting this program.
12 of his 14 in the second half. Avery Anderson has given Oklahoma State a 2-point advantage as Rondell Walker checks in. And Caleb Boone will grab a seat.
You know what I'd worry about right here if I was Oklahoma State? Mac McClung shooting a three. And they're trying to keep it from him. Great job by Anderson.
Cunningham on him. And Chris Beard calls timeout.
Terrific job by Avery Anderson. He did not let Mac McClung come to the basketball. Final timeout for Texas Tech, John.
Yep.
Yep.
So they got no more timeouts left. 2.3 the difference, shot clock and game clock. Where do you want to see the basketball go? I mean, obviously, McClung would be one of the spots.
Yeah, no, it's got to be McClung. Now, somebody else can make a play because McClung's being guarded. But if you're Chris Beard, you can't allow this to happen right now. Just watch Avery Anderson in the middle of your screen face guard McClung, okay? So Chris Beard just called a timeout right here with one thing in mind to me, and that is we got to get Mac the ball. Okay, there's the timeout. Now, could Edwards make a play? Could Shannon make a play? Absolutely. But the guy that they like to get it to is Mac McClung. He creates his own. He'll find you if he's open, and he's dangerous because he doesn't care. He'll raise up and shoot a three the way we saw him do it in Austin to beat Texas. The key is inbounding this ball and screening from McClung so that he gets the ball in his hands.
So a 2-point game, 17.3 to go. Yeah, the Red Raiders looking for a hero.
Well, this is why Mac McClung came to the South Plains, is to be in a situation like this for a winning program and a winning coach. Can they get him open? All right, there it is.
McClung for three. Missed it all. Shannon, a three. Oh, no, underneath. Easy bucket. Wow. Timeout, Oklahoma State. I thought he was going to shoot a three. And he had a teammate wide open underneath.
Yep, take a look. Tough shot. Oh, pass inside. Now, did the shot clock reset, or did it need to?
And he had Kyler Edwards wide open underneath.
Let's take a look here, John. Shot clock going down. Does it hit the rim? It does not. Did he get it off? And he got it off. Okay.
Yeah, he did.
No issue. No issue. Now, remember this. You got to be careful if you're Oklahoma State, you throw it lane to the court, because if it goes out of bounds without touching anybody, Texas Tech would get it under its own basket. What I like to do right here is get one of my guards catching the ball somewhere at about 60 feet away from my basket, on the move going towards the basket. And you've heard me say this, John, this is a 3-dribble play right here. Okay. One of these Cowboys catches it. He's got 3 dribbles before he needs to shoot it. Throw it to him.
So here we go. They go baseball pass. Oh, did they get a foul?
Nope, jump ball.
Oh, jump ball.
Oh, how about this?
1.1, so they can catch and shoot here.
Both teams are out of timeouts. So what do you have? What have you practiced? What have you practiced for this situation? Watch Cunningham in the corner going to the basket. Watch the lob.
Yeah, the shot short. As Walker not able to drain it.
Watch. Somebody fell down. It looked like Bryce Williams, and then Rondell Walker. Decent look, but we will play some extra basketball.
Headed to overtime when we come back. Oklahoma State, Texas Tech tied at 65. Tied at 65 and overtime here in Stillwater. And it's presented by Papa John's. So we got extra basketball for you. And from Gallagher Iba Arena, our overtime presented by Papa John's is Texas Tech and Oklahoma State knotted up 65 apiece. John Sciambi and Fran Fraschilla. And here are the storylines in this one, as Terrence Shannon Jr. leading Texas Tech with 16. Cade Cunningham with 18 for Oklahoma State. Now, foul trouble in this one. McCullers got 4. Peavy's got 4 for Texas Tech. Cunningham with 4 for the Cowboys. And there's the one that tied it, as Shannon was able to find Kyler Edwards wide open underneath.
Now keep in mind, John, on January 2nd, Oklahoma State went into Lubbock and won in overtime. And tonight, Texas Tech trying to return the favor. And again, this is a huge game in terms of standings in the Big 12. Both of these teams, I believe right now, are safely in the field of 68, but you do not want to end up in 7th place and having to play on Wednesday night, because then you'd be forced to play 4 games. There you see the standings. Texas has a tough one tomorrow against Kansas at home. And those 3 teams now, Texas, Oklahoma State, Texas Tech, one of those teams will likely finish 7th in a really, really good league.
Yeah, it looks like 7 teams from the Big 12 will make the big dance. And probably only the Big 10 will end up with more teams in, right, Fran?
Yeah, of course. Great season by the Big 10. They've got 15 teams, 14, I believe. Now, now that there's 5-minute game, John, if I'm Chris Beard, I'm going at Cade Cunningham as much as I can. He's got 4 fouls. He's still going to play the hands-up Harry defense. So you have to figure out who he's guarding and go at him. Now, if you're Mike Boynton, you're trying to find the one guy on Texas Tech who he may be able to guard without the concern of scoring the way a McClung could or a Shannon.
And Oklahoma State wins the tip. Cowboys with the first possession in overtime. 65 apiece. John Sciambi, Fran Fraschilla. Will they get McClung on that foul? No. Is that a turnover?
Well, I think he fouled him.
Yeah. So Avery Anderson will go to the line. Now McClung, that foul, that's his 3rd. I'm
a big fan of the improvement of this young man whose family was repatriated to the Dallas-Fort Worth after Hurricane Katrina. He's from the lower 9th Ward. Mom calls him her Texas baby. And all he did was score 2,600 points in high school at Northwest High School up in Justin, north of Fort Worth.
McClung not able to hit, and it'll be Cowboys basketball.
Edwards, Cunningham matching up, dueling.
Cunningham looking for space inside Boone.
Great pass. That's McClung's fourth, but I'll tell you, when you're 6'8", you can easily see over defenses and get Caleb Boone really comfortable. He knows that Cade will find him. Big guys, if you're watching, you got to roll out of that ball screen as hard as you can and get yourself to the rim.
So here's Caleb Boone, 64% free throw shooter, 5 for 8 in this one. Missed that one. So a three-point advantage, and McClung takes it into the front court. Gets to the paint, looking for some help. Santos Silva, kick out.
It's good.
Shannon hangs and hits.
Yep. You know what he did? He took Cunningham. That's good awareness. He knows Cade has to stay in the game. So TJ Shannon just said, nope, not now. I'm going at you, big fella.
Cunningham, 3. McClung pulls down the rebound.
Again, you got Cunningham with 4, Shannon.
Tyler Edwards, feet inside. Santos Silva wouldn't go. Rebound Boone. Here's Cunningham down. Left his feet, threw it away. Turnover. McClung the other way. McClung jumper. Wouldn't go. Boone the rebound. 3 to go.
Ooh. Boone getting some glass. Mike Boynton's going to keep that ball. Well, I thought he was going to keep it in Cade's hands. But he's got his co-pilot.
Anderson. And Boone the rebound. They've had key plays from Anderson, Likely, Boone, Cunningham. Everybody's chipped in.
Oh, yeah. Now, this next couple minutes is who gets the 50-50s, who gets the glass.
Neck ball.
Another neck ball. Also known as a brick. We're building a house down there tonight.
Bryce Williams. The best part about that is if you tried to do that, it'd be really hard to do.
No. You know what the worst part about that is? When I did it, I could never get the ball when I was a kid because I'm 5'7". I had to go get a broom.
What do you mean when you were a kid?
Well, I didn't grow much, but I stopped playing. I had to get a broom.
McCullough can't make it. The shot ain't close down on the floor. Jump ball.
Yeah.
And it's Oklahoma State basketball on the possession arrow.
We've talked about the DNA of both teams. Toughness, grittiness. It comes from a long history of basketball at both schools. And this last 2 minutes in a key February game is going to come down to rebounding, 50-50 balls, moving your feet on defense.
So a 1-point game, 2 to go. Chris Beard's team needing a win on the road. Oklahoma State won the first matchup between these two teams January 2nd in overtime. Cunningham in close, rolls it home.
Great call. They posted him up. Good feet inside. Excellent call by Mike Boynton.
Shan had lost the handle. Cunningham tracked it down. Under 90 seconds to go. And Oklahoma State with the lead and the basketball.
They can use some clock. They have 2 timeouts left. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
And that one blocked.
What a play!
Wow.
Avery Benson, John, had a layup. I thought he should have given it up. Great hustle play. Who made that play?
My feed was a little bumpy. It was hard for me to tell.
Nope, we're in New York and D.C. That's Avery Anderson, a third. Well, Avery Benson had the breakaway. And how about the play by Avery Anderson? A little contact at the end by Keelan Boone. I thought that Benson would give it up to the more athletic teammate, but he tried to make the play, and Avery Anderson, to this point, saved the day with a great defensive play.
Well, we check out the best stuff from earlier in the game, and it is brought to you by Papa John's. Here's the shot that got us to overtime. Clock winding down, shot clock winding down. McClung, no. Eventually it would kick out to Shannon, alertly spotting Kyler Edwards underneath. And with about 2 seconds to go, that would end up being the basket that would send us to overtime. And here we are, under a minute left. Oklahoma State with the ball up by 3.
Yep, clock is your friend. Got to go under 10.
Cunningham lost the handle. And Texas Tech has it.
They got him to spin, and he spun into traffic.
McClung to the basket. Wow.
Now they cannot take. They got to foul soon. Do you foul Cade? How about coming to trap first? I think you got to come soon.
Now you got to foul.
Now watch Mac McClung now. Watch him use this left hand to go away from the shot blocker. Good finish. That's 17 for Mac McClung tonight. Not a good foul shooter here.
Keelan Boone rattles it home.
Coming into tonight, Keelan shooting 54% from the line. If you're Mike Boynton, do you take a timeout here if he makes the second and set up your defense?
Got them both. Wow. I mean, coming into tonight, Keelan Boone had shot 13 free throws the entire year, and he makes 2 of the biggest of their season, at least where we are now. 3-point game. Here we go. McClung. Kyler Edwards off the side of the board. McClung a 3 to tie. That misses. And it looks like Oklahoma State is going to escape Frank Fraschilla.
Oh, I'll tell you, John, this is a great win for Mike Boynton and his young team. This is one of the youngest teams in the country. We talked about all those freshmen and sophomores tonight. Anderson with 16, Cunningham with 20, Boone with 18. And of course, it's a young head coach who is coming into his own.
(72-69), 1.3 to go.
Well, Mike Boynton told us that he wears the weight of being a black head coach, a young coach, no experience, given the job 4 years ago. John, you and I know this guy. He's literally made very few mistakes as a young head coach. He's embraced the history of this program. The players love him. The fans love him. The people in the community love him. Not bad for a kid from Brooklyn.
Sports
Bishop
Center with
Lockwood High School
SVP comes your way next.
Doesn't get easy.
Schedules.
Oh, yeah. You know what a gauntlet is this year? The entire Big 12 schedule. That's called a gauntlet.
Bryce Williams, 73%.
That is Bryce's first point of the night. 0 for 8 from the field. But that free throw has done it.
That, by the way, the biggest lead of the night for the Cowboys, and that'll do it. 74-69, our final. And Mike Boynton and the Cowboys pick up the win. Let's take a look at tonight's Phillips 66 player of the game. The Cowboys with a huge win in conference at home. And the New York City native is pumped up.
They play hard, John. Young Cowboy team, they get after it. They've got a star, but they've got a lot of good pieces.
Cade Cunningham with 20, and our player of the game brought to you by Phillips 66, Cade Cunningham. 74-69 the final for Fran Fraschilla. I'm John Sciambi. Thanks for watching SportsCenter with SVP coming up next. Scott, what's the best thing you saw today, my friend?